let's go to the AFC South, and this is just
We trying over here, y'all.
man, this is just worse. Oh my
We
god.
trying, y'all.
But I will say that I do like the Jags because of Trevor Lawrence, because they got Calvin Ridley. So we could talk about the Jags right now. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, off top.
Okay, one controversial
Yeah.
take. I gotta say,
Yeah.
when did Trevor Lawrence become a dude all of a sudden? I really want to know, because we know his rookie year wasn't stellar at all. It was
I
terrible.
think he threw more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he like 15 interceptions, 12 touchdowns, something crazy like that. Then the second year, okay,
Final half of the season.
right? They got their groove going. Made the playoffs, won a playoff game against the Chargers. But like Trevor Lawrence threw four picks that game. Like great win, but like what other QBs we letting get away with that? Now all of a sudden he's like borderline top 5. Like where was I when this happened?
He's elite now.
Like come on, when did he become a dude all of a sudden?
Like, remember that post? It was on Twitter. I forgot the guy's. I don't know the guy's name, but he was like he was ranking like these 4 QBs. He was like Lamar, Joe.
Yeah,
Burrow,
he had
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence over Joe.
Like, come on, bruh. They had like Lamar and Trevor Lawrence over Joe Burrow. I'm like, come on now. Like, what are we doing? I think he also may have Geno Smith in there. But
It was the post was ranked these 4 QBs. It was Lamar, Trev, Joe, and Watson.
Yeah, and Watson was like last.
Yeah, Watson was
and
last.
Joe was like second.
Third.
Last.
It was third.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I don't know
All
what
right.
film he watching, but yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence, like his potential is like
For sure.
Yeah, but
he's
like
definitely
for what he's shown us already, for him to get so much praise and people wanting to put him in the tiers with Justin Herbert, like no, just stop it.
he's what people look at Trevor Lawrence.
I'll put it last thing.
go ahead.
He's
I'll let
closer
you
to Dak and Kirk and them versus Joe Burrow and Mahomes
Yes.
as of right now.
Yes. And what the way that people are looking at Trevor Lawrence is they're making it seem like he's already like Justin Herbert his second year. Remember Herbert, his second year, he was throwing like 40 touchdowns, nearly 5,000 yards. Like he's not at that level. He's not doing that. And that's my problem, is that they're trying to elevate him to a level that he hasn't accomplished yet. Yes, that final half of the season, he was phenomenal. The game against the Cowboys, the game against the Ravens, other games as well. He was unbelievable. But I think we're overrating him a little bit too much because of coming out of college. People were saying, oh, he's the most talented quarterback since Andrew Luck. He's the most talented quarterback ever. And they're trying to validate their argument, validate everything that they're saying. So they're going to overhype him during his second year because he showed a lot of promise. They showed that, see what happens when you put a competent coach with Trevor Lawrence. Look what he does. That first year with Urban Meyer doesn't count at all. Let's just erase it. Let's just eradicate it. So they're building all of these excuses. They're sort of putting him on a pedestal that he hasn't reached yet, like he's done what Justin Herbert has done in the past. When Justin Herbert has put up MVP level numbers, it's just his team hasn't lived up to the potential that they should lived up to because of injuries, because of coaching. You know how I feel about the coaching with the Chargers. So let's pump the brake on Trevor Lawrence. I do think he will be better this year because the addition of Calvin Ridley, second year with Doug Peterson.
Yep.
They also drafted a really good running back that I like out of the third round that PFF has been hyping up. Fantasy football pages have been hyping up. So I like the offensive pieces. I'm not very familiar with the offensive line that much. I don't know if they're really good or not.
Their offensive line they're solid.
They're solid, but I do like their pieces. But I just say pump the brake on Trevor Lawrence. He's not in the same tier as Jalen Hurts. He's not in the same tier as Lamar or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen just yet, or Justin Herbert. I feel like people are disrespecting Justin Herbert a little bit. in my opinion, because of that game, that playoff game. Like, I get it. Yes, he blew a 30-point lead. But let's not act like he didn't care, dead ass, like, carry a team to the playoffs. And that team, before the injuries, were one of the most talented teams in the league. But they did get injured, and he was still able to get that team to the postseason. I feel like he doesn't get enough praise for that. Now, he was protected, though. They did blame the coaching staff.
Yep.
But I do think he doesn't get enough praise for carrying a team that was sort of injured the entire season to the postseason, and a running back that, by fantasy perspective, he's really good, but in reality, he's one of the middle tier running backs. Like, I don't think, is he top 10? Like, maybe he's close. Maybe he's like maybe 10-ish.
Yeah.
But he's not that guy, like, for real. He's not those Saquon or Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey or Nick Chubb. Like, he's not on that level. So we got to give Justin Herbert more of his flowers, and we need to stop comparing Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, because Trevor Lawrence is still not on Justin Herbert's level. Like, let's get that out of there, because I think people keep trying to compare the two, and there's no comparison. If you watch football, there's no comparison. Just because you have a strong arm, just because you were one of the most talented prospects we've ever seen, doesn't mean that you should be in the same tier as a guy that's actually put up godlike numbers, historic numbers. So I just have to say that there. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, he's not even better than Hurts. And coming from me, who's an avid Eagles hater.
You're absolutely right. Like, I'm seeing
that's saying something.
I'm seeing some of these analysts already putting him at like tier 2, and I'm just like, no, putting him on elite status, and I'm like, no, elite status is for people that are MVP level, that they can win the MVP. Like, every year they're in the running for MVP. There is only a select few guys, probably 5, maybe even less than that.
I say less than that.
Maybe 4 or 5 guys that you could say elite level. And then everybody else, there is a gap. Stop putting Trevor Lawrence in these discussions. Maybe this year he'll prove us wrong. Well, not prove us wrong, because I do think he'll get better. Maybe this year he'll finally validate those people's sort of claim that he is in the elite label. But right now, I want to wait and see. So I do have the Jags. I say they win 11 games this year. I think they win the division. This division is pretty awful, so I think they win it outright. And yeah, that's really it. Their defense is not the greatest. I'm still waiting for Josh Allen to not the Bills quarterback, the linebacker. I know. I'm just telling the people, the linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen to sort of break through. I haven't really seen him really take that next step, especially since they drafted him in the top 10. Was the number 1 pick that they drafted last year?
Trayvon Walker.
Bro, where are you at?
I actually heard he's made a decent stride.
But as the number 1 pick,
yeah, we
need to know. He should be flashing off of our TV screen. Myles Garrett, he didn't have the greatest first year, but he did, like, we did see the potential. Like, we saw, okay, we see what he's gonna be. Like, we saw him in the run. Okay, he has some pass rushing moves that he can display. Trayvon Walker, I didn't see a whole much after those first 2. I'm trying to find him. I can't find him. Like, where is the film? Where is the training camp coverage? The reports from training camp about Trayvon Walker? I can't find him. So we still need to see more from him. And yeah, that's really, when it comes to the Jags defense, those 2 guys right there, I need to see more from if they want to elevate themselves into the Super Bowl contention discussion. Like, some of these analysts be saying, like, like, there was one guy that said, don't be surprised if the Jags have a better record than the Chiefs. Man, get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that.
Honestly, I'm looking at this scheduling.
I get the scheduling.
11 wins might be a little too much.
Really?
They play some dudes on this They play the Chiefs, Steelers, Saints, Bills, Bengals, Ravens, Niners. Browns gonna be a tough one, I think.
Oh, really?
I say 10.
10.
Yeah, I say 10 wins.
Let me see. Wow, you're right about that.
Their line is decent. They're not like all that. They have Brandon Scherf in 2023.
Okay,
playing.
yeah, I'll go 10. I'll go 10.
I say 10
I
wins.
say 10. I'll go 10. I'll change it to 10. You convinced me. But let's pump the brakes on the Jags being Super Bowl contenders. Like, I feel like they're one of the most overrated teams in the league.
You know
right
what
now.
this reminds me of?
What?
Remember that year when the Browns went on that crazy run? Then they ended up beating the Steelers in the playoffs, and then everyone thought they was going to be like really good the next year, and then they weren't. This is kind of giving me those type of vibes again.
Yeah, pump the brakes. Like, seriously, man.
Let me look at this. I'm looking at this defense. Let me see. Where's the defense at? Cause let me see.
Defense isn't all that good.
Who they got at corner?
Nah. Yeah, it's
Tyson Camp. He's decent.
He's all right, man.
Rayshawn Jenkins, safety. He's good. Cisco is all right. Trey Hendon. Who the heck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that defense is very suspect.
Like Devin Lloyd and Josh Allen.
Devin Lloyd needs to do something. I had him at linebacker 1 coming out the draft last year.
Trayvon Walker.
I wanted my Cowboys to draft him.
Like, these guys, like, you expected them to be so much better, but they haven't lived up to their potential. And I'm just like, I'm waiting. I'm like, where is it? You guys were supposed to be this.
Who are these people on this D-line?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah.
Because I don't recognize a single one of these dudes besides Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Well, we have the Jags winning the division, 10 games. Yeah, so let's